Hey guys, my name is Lulu. Welcome to my channel. And this is my first YouTube live. Y'all have to overlook me because I'm kind of a mess right now. But I just wanted to talk about my walking shoes. Kind of random. But I started thinking, like, I was watching a video of American Idol and I saw where Luke Bryant had gave the shoes off of his feet to one of the contestants. That his shoes had literally had holes. His toes were hanging out, and he was still up there, and he was still singing and still just with the perfect happy exterior, maybe a little nervous, but but his shoes had literal holes in them. And I started thinking, I was like, you know at first I heard Lionel Richie say, can we get him some shoes? And it went on commercial and it came back, and when it came back, apparently, I'm assuming they couldn't get him shoes. So Luke Bryant took the shoes off of his feet that he was wearing, the boots, and he gave them to the contestant. No questions asked. He just gave it to him. And I started thinking, like, my previous video was like, or my Facebook Live was like, giving people hands when, that's all they need. When he came out, he was so happy. And so, but let me get to the point because I'm I always get sidetracked for some reason. I don't know why, but and so basically, my walking shoes are off brand, which is kind of like myself. I'm not out there. I'm not a name brand type person. I don't, spend a lot of money on clothes and things of that nature. So, my walking shoes are a lot like me. And so they're dirty, they're worn, they've lost their shape. The inside soles have came out and are rugged, and yeah, they're the most comfortable, most airy shoes that I have. Like, if I was to walk into a store and I would see these shoes, or not even to a store, like a donation center, and I would see these shoes, I would never buy them. See how my soul, y'all, is dirty. I'm telling you, these shoes are so old, but they're my most worn shoes. And so basically, the point of this video is my shoes are dirty. They're worn, and their shape has been. It looks like I have ski feet. Look at it. It's just my kids play with them, so they've been it. But yeah, so they've lost their shape. Here's the other one, and some of the treads even gone. So when I say that my shoes are a lot like me, I mean it in a sense of the outside is worn and weathered, and I've lost my shape. I've lost myself, my original self. I'm not the same as I was when I was younger, less used, less stressed, less weighted, as so to speak, kind of like these shoes. When these shoes were brand new, they were not creased and misshapen and soiled, and I don't want to say smelly because they don't stink, but you get the picture. And so the exterior is like me because on the outside, I may, physically be clean, but on the outside, I'm not this name brand, high and mighty, out there type of person, kind of like a brand new pair of sneakers would be. So, excuse the lighting, it's kind of terrible, but, and so, the soles of the shoes are worn and wrinkled and tattered, and some of the parts have even rubbed off. And so this is a lot like me because my 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 body is tired, but yet it stays strong. It keeps me together like these soles of the shoes that are tired and worn and dirty and tattered, but it still stays intact. It still holds the entire body of the shoe together. So this is kind of like my wheel to go. It's tired, it's worn, it's weathered, and sometimes there's wrinkles in my wheel. But when I continue to steadfast, my wheel keeps my entire body moving in one piece together, just like this shoe. The wheel and the sole are the same. So another thing that I would like to say is like me is the shoestrings. The shoestrings. It ties the pieces together. Notice there's holes. Notice that it's loose. It's tight enough for me to fit my foot in, but maybe not tight enough or loose enough for the next person. So these are a lot like the strings of my heart. Because the strings of my heart are tired and loose and worn and tattered, just like the rest of these shoes. But what the strings of my heart do is keep those torn pieces sewn together. What the pieces of my heart fall apart without the strings, yes it would. Kind of like this shoe would be unwearable without the strings. You would constantly be having to put it back on, put it back on, put it back on, put it back on, put it back on. Because every time you walked, your foot would just come out. So think about your heart. Without the things that are stringed to your heart, even things that are minute now, may be more important in the future, but these are the strings of your heart, are like the strings of your walking shoes. Because no matter how many miles you've taken, no matter how many falls, how many jumps, how many anything that you've been through, no matter how many times you've walked in water or mud, they're still going to stay tied. And it's still going to keep those pieces that are not connected. So even though you may have holes, even though you may have, loose knots, or even if you feel like it's just hanging by a thread, it's still connected. It's still going to keep you connected, kind of like your shoe. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, I know this video is kind of long and it's just kind of impromptu, so you have to overlook. I didn't really make a plan out for this, so you have to overlook it. But last but not least, the inside is the most important part. Okay, the inside of the shoe is kind of like your inside of your body. So, oh my gosh, I always get emotional. So, the inside of your body, the inside of your body is like the insides of your shoes. Simply, I want you to look at this. This inside is, oh my gosh, y'all, it is dirty. Look, it has tore places. It has even been pulled out. Like, it can be pulled out, like, and I stick it in every single time. I mean, I have walked so much that I have literally walked a hole through the insole of the shoe. And so let me get back to the reason why I say that the inside of your body is like the inside of your shoe. The inside of your body is like the inside of your shoe because it has every point, direct contact. Let me rephrase that. Every direct contact you have with your shoe, the weight, the stress, the running, the jumping, the running through water, whatever, this gets directly, all of the weight of the world of the shoe could be your body, because it would be what your purpose for your shoe is for your body to have comfort when walking. So basically the inside of the shoe is like your inside of your body, because all of the direct hits come at the sole and the insole. And so when the insole gets dirty or stinky or starts ripping up, and people normally just toss the shoes because it's the inside. Nobody wants to have shoes that are messed up. But what if this was the inside of your body and you had had 1,000 direct hits? 1,000 direct hits, and you feel like you can't take any more, and your insides are peeling up like the inside of this sole. Would you want somebody to throw you away? Because you know that you're that nice person. You know that you are not the situation that you are going through or have been through. You know you are not the torn and tattered insole that people are looking at when they see you. Okay? So, do you throw yourself away when you get worn and tattered and walked on? When you start peeling up, do you give up and just say, I'm done? Even knowing that these shoes are amazing, best $10 I ever spent. These shoes are hands down the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn, even with the tears, even with there's no smell, but I'm saying it does kind of have a little smell. They're walking shoes, but not nothing serious. But anyways, no, I do not have stinky feet, guys. But anyways, so I got lost. So anyway, so my point of this story is I know that these shoes are comfortable. I know that these shoes are gonna make me be able to walk longer and faster and more efficiently, even though they look like, oh my gosh, what in the Walmart trash can happened. That's what they look like. What in the Walmart switching shoes in the box is going on here? That's what they look like. But at the end of the day, these are my go-tos. The end of the day, these are exactly what I need to put on my feet to make me feel like a better person physically, to be able to physically feel like a better person, to go and do the exercises that I need to do or what have you. So the moral and the point of this entire story was never look at yourself like damaged goods, because even though this may appear like it's damaged goods, because look, I mean, it even has dirt on it, guys. Like it's legit a shoe that I wear frequently with no name brand, with dirt pieces coming up, cracks and creases and just strain. I wear these kind of like I wear the cracks and creases and strain that my body has weathered. Do I throw them away? No, because I wouldn't throw myself away. Sometimes you have to stay humble and you have to hold those torn shoes to remember where you were when you got those shoes. Where were you when you got those off-brand shoes that are the most comfortable of shoes? Where was I when I felt brand new? What have these shoes went through since I bought them? Kind of like, what have I went through since I've changed? Since I've grown, since I've been worn, since I've been used and tattered and beaten and the weight of the world has been on my shoulders, what have I done with myself? What do I look like now as opposed to 5 years ago? Because I sure look like this when I used to look brand new. Does that make me less of a person? No. Does that make this less of a shoe? Absolutely not. My worn and tattered and broken spirit, so to speak, peeled up spirit is worth more than a brand new pair of Air Maxes. These shoes are worth more than a brand new pair of walking shoes, simply because they're my shape, not my shape. These look like I have boat feet. But yes, these are me. This is a representation of me. There's no better than what is a representation of myself, which would be worn, tattered, creased. But yet I still hold value. And you still hold value. Even when you feel like you look like a dirty pair of shoes. You're really not. You're the most important piece to somebody's puzzle. You just don't see it. You just don't see it because you're looking at the outside. Don't look at the outside. Look at the inside. Look at what all you have been through. And yet you still are one piece. Just like the shoe. Stay happy, stay humble, guys, and stay on top of your emotions. Never let anybody make you feel second best, even if you may feel like you look second best. You're not. You're first best to yourself, first place to yourself, and you're someone's puzzle piece. Always remember that. Stay humble, stay happy, keep living. Bye, guys.